Alright, so, right, for 2026, we should kill the notion of feminism. I think it is extended its time already. Looking at how everything is going right now, marriages are done, chivalry is done, commitment is done, self-respect is done, dignity is done, character is done, morals are done, ethics are done. There's nothing left. There's nothing positive that comes from feminism except for ego and control. I look at feminism as control because, number one, you can make up your rules, and as long as you shame the other guy about it, or you can get them to shut up, or have them to stop having boundaries, respect, and stuff like that, you get your way. Right? Feminism. My body, my choice. I can go outside half naked, but I still want you to respect me. You know, feminism. You know, I don't need a man. I am that man. Feminism. I need a man to make 6 figures, $1 million. Feminism. I am the prize. Ego. I am the prize. Feminism. A man is supposed to do all these things. Feminism. Simp culture. My self-value is determined by how many men are willing to sleep with me. Therefore, I feel better about myself. Ego. Feminism, I like to believe, is honestly a mental health issue that has gotten to this point. You know, I was talking to a few girls, and all of them are saying the same thing. Men are checked out. There's no such thing as marriage anymore. There's no such thing as commitment anymore. There's no such thing as respect or boundaries or ethics. There is no such thing as provisions anymore. Now let's break it down even further than that. You know, back in the early 80s, maybe the 90s, chivalry was a thing. Let me pull the chair out for you. Let me buy you flowers. Let me open the door. Let me do these nice things for you. Let me get your hair done. That was a man's way of courting a woman that he was interested in and showing them interest. Now, with feminism, that's a simp. Women see a man who's willing to do these things and they abuse them. Well, this man's willing to deal with it. He's going to pay my bills. I don't have to bring nothing to the table. He's only as good as what he can offer. If that man doesn't do that, I'm going to demonize him. I'm going to degrade him. I'm going to call him gay. I'm going to call him sassy. I'm going to put him on a T app. I'm going to sit there and do all this shit if I don't get my way. Feminism is just something, a phrase that women hide behind when they don't get their way. That's how I see it, personally. Right? Look at marriage. Men don't want to commit no more. Marriage is a liability now. Marriage used to be something sacred. Now with this feminism, all we see marriage as, okay, she's going to take the kids. She's going to put me on child support. She's going to put me on alimony. She's going to take the house. I'm going to be fucked up. So why should I even get married? Women are walking away from 70 to 80% of these marriages. And I hate to say it, but there has to be some type of accountability factor. You know, men haven't changed our traditional values. Women changed the values. Right? Men, we're still expected to provide, protect, and guide. Right? That's what we normally do, even when we're dating you. We provide for you, we take you on dates, we pay for everything, don't worry about it. We protect you. If somebody steals your purse, we're going to go over there and break that nigga's jaw. Right? We guide you. Hey, look, babe, I don't think that's the right move. We should do it this way. Women see that as controlling. Right? So now when men are trying to be men, women are telling men how to be men. And even with that, how can a woman tell a man how to be a man if the woman never lived in a man's experience? I think this whole overinflated ego that women have in today's society and culture is the demise of themselves in like a self-destructive way. We have women over here on OnlyFans selling their bodies for $4.99. You can see everything she was born with, but that same woman wants to be a wife. The double standard is crazy. That woman wants to be the man. She doesn't need a man, but she'll still seek a man to pay her bills, but doesn't need a man. The double standard. That woman wants you to respect her and not call her a hoe, but then, you know, she has all her ass out everywhere she goes on pictures twerking. Double standard. Feminism is control. Control and ego. That's all it breaks down to behind this elaborate word of feminism. A lot of women are gonna die old, alone, with cats. Because us men, we don't want to sit there and even bother with the mentality of a lot of women. A lot of the time when you ask women nowadays, what do you offer to a man? If we're expected to live, kill, and die for you, provide for you, guide you, be responsible for you, what do you offer? And the most scariest response I've heard from a woman is she told me dead in my face, I got good pussy. And that's her value. That's sad. And it really shows the mentality. Feminism. You don't accept yourself. Essentially. You know, these BBLs, these breast implants, the fake injections, it's a mental health issue. You don't even know yourself. Personally, if I feel like you have to change your image to fit into society, you're scared to look in the mirror without all that makeup. But then you want a real man, but you can't be real with yourself. What is this? When did it turn into this? And I honestly, I feel like it was systematically designed, right? The government became the new man of the household. When the man was taken out of that household, it broke the structure of that household. Because back in the days, the reason why our grandparents stayed together so long, because there was no incentive to leave. If y'all broke up and y'all got a divorce, both of y'all failed. Your kids would suffer. Your legacy, your future would suffer. Your self-image would suffer. Your respect from society would suffer. Because before, getting a divorce was frowned upon. Now getting a divorce is celebrated. And I would tell you where it went wrong even deeper than that, right? Government came in and they said, all right, in exchange for having that man out your household, because if you read the laws for a lot of these government assistance programs, you have to be a single parent. You have to be a single mom. That's where all the incentives and the benefits are going to, single moms. But you can't have the man in the household if you have Section 8. You can't have the man on the household if you got the food stamps. So then you take the man out the household. That gives you a sense of ego. I could do it by myself, right? I'm going to raise these kids by myself. And then women, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, and y'all gonna probably block me, delete me, feel some type of way about it. Y'all don't do good raising children by yourselves. Look at the statistics. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for how you raise your kids, but look at the statistics. You know, you traded in a father and structure for food stamps, pride, ego, and the ideology of feminism. And the government became that man in that household. The government doesn't give a shit. That man gives a shit. That government is not going to die for you. That man will. Statistically, single mother households, you raise feminine boys. A woman can't raise a boy to be a man. A woman's going to raise a boy to be emotional. An emotional man is a dangerous man. A man without an emotional regulation is destructive, is violent, is chaos. And that leads to incarceration. That leads to drug abuse. That leads to alcohol abuse. That leads to gang affiliation, trying to fill in that gap of seeking that father figure or that male figure. Women. When women raise girls to be women, that's promiscuous. You didn't have a dad, so now that girl wants to seek that attention and that figure in any guy that tells her she's beautiful, what her father should have been telling her. Any guy that's going to give her attention and validation. And there should be half-naked seeking the love from men that her father didn't give her. If you look at the statistics for men, when we raise kids by ourselves, our kids, statistically, no drug abuse, less likely to get locked up, less likely to have these mental and psychological issues because we establish structure and discipline. What every kid needs to be a functional adult. We disregard our emotions and we put ourselves in a position of priority, of structure. And then these women who are proud to say they're single, I'm a single woman, I'm an independent woman, is not a flex. It's not a flex. Because at the end of the day, the reason why there's two sexes is because we need each other. There's a dependency there. There's certain things that women are good at, there's certain things men are good at. But women want to be the woman and the man. Women would adopt the masculine traits. Men don't adopt feminine traits when we have to do things by ourselves. Women adopt the masculine traits in survival mode. And that's the sad part. Because when they're in survival mode, all they're doing is spreading that to other women and cheering them on. Go ahead, girl, divorce him. Divorce him. Get that child support, girl. Take his house. You're entitled to all of these things. And I wonder why men don't want to commit. There are good men out there. We out there. But we're smart enough to understand the pattern and the culture of where we're at in today's society. We know the red flags. We know when we see a woman and she's showing too much skin and she's out there seeking too much attention, that's someone to have sex with. That's not someone to make a wife. That's not a mom. That's somebody to have fun with. When we see the red flags, like you have multiple baby daddies, that's just somebody to have sex with. That's not somebody to sit there and turn into a wife or a mother. You know, we see that. And it's sad because feminism would have you believe that you're winning in the moment that you're in when you're losing in the long goal. Because then, when women, I don't know if y'all understand this, but the older you get, is the less options you have. We are not out here looking for 40, 50-year-old women. We're not. We can't have kids with you. You're stuck in your ways. You became that man that you've been looking for already. So no man wants to be with a woman who thinks he's a man. Women are more disrespectful. Women are more combative. Women are more promiscuous. Women are more manipulative, more vindictive. Women know how to work the system to use against us men. Women weaponize their kids to capitalize on profit. There's some men right now that has to pay on top of child support just to have a few minutes with their child. Men have to fight to be in their children's lives, and these same women that are putting these men through that will be like, he's a deadbeat dad because he doesn't see his child. After a while, the man would give up. How many times does a man have to knock on the door and beg to see his child before he gives up? And would never have that relationship. And by that, all that time that passed, who is that hurting? That's hurting the child. But that is now the nature and the culture in today's society. And this is why I do the whole dating with boobie thing. This is why I talk about these issues, because it's so goddamn common. And the common denominator are women. And then women would try to avoid accountability and blame men for the decisions that they made. You laid down with that nigga. They picked the wrong nigga and then blamed the nigga for being the wrong nigga. That nigga's a bum. He's always getting locked up. Well, he had a criminal record when you met him. He don't work. He didn't have a job when you met him. He don't take care of his kids. He didn't take care of the last 3 kids he made with the last 2 or 3 baby daddies or baby mamas that he had. What makes you think he's going to take care of a kid with you when you met him? Like, where the fuck is the accountability? And women are starting to realize that now. I'm talking to women, and I see a lot of women with the same mentality, but I see a lot of women who are wisening up. The older women are starting to wisen up. They hit the wall already. Once you hit that wall and you hit that certain age, and you no longer have the looks that you once had to attract a decent man, now you're bitter. But there's a lot of women who hit that wall and be like, I fucked up. Accountability. Now you have a better chance because you took accountability to at least have a chance of finding somebody. But then on top of that, women's unrealistic expectation from men it's a turn off for men. He has to be 6 feet. Not a lot of us are 6 feet. He has to make 6 figures. Not a lot of us make 6 figures. He has to have a car, a house. He has to have a 6-pack. He has to write poetry but still be a fucking thug. He has to be a bad boy. He has to be all these requirements. And all men want from women is crazy, right? But men get with women hoping they never change. Women get with men hoping they can change every fucking thing about them. And that's the difference between men and women. Men were simple. Beauty, loyalty, good morals. If you cook and clean, that's a plus. But nowadays, the standard is so goddamn low, we'll take one of the two or neither. Right? Don't be a hoe. Respect. All of these things are free. They cost $0.99. They're free. So why is the things that we require from women free and the things that they require from us cost us thousands, millions? When do women see men as more than just a paycheck, a come up, or a status symbol? They brag about it. My man's a lawyer. My man's a cop. My man's a doctor. Women can tell you 1,000 things they want from a man, but they can't tell you 3 things that a man would want from a woman. And everything us men say that we want from women, women are ignoring. We want a woman to respect us. No nigga gonna control me. We want a woman that's not a hoe. Don't worry about my past. You're insecure. We want a woman who's in shape. Body shaming. So when do you take accountability? Where the fuck is the accountability? You know, honestly, the women that I'm talking to now, I'm proud of them. Because honestly, I hear some common sense. Last year's batch of unqualified candidates was a shit show. A shit show. I said, maybe I gotta change my tactics. I ain't looking no more. Now they're looking for me. But the ones that are looking for me now have more common sense to have a conversation, and they also hold accountability. So I can say I can work with that. Right? But the concept of feminism has killed chivalry. The concept of feminism has killed commitment. The concept of feminism has killed every fucking thing that men had of quality. We're afraid of women now. I'm afraid of women. Personally. Right? Because I'm thinking, like, what mental health issue do you have? Like, what mentality? I'm not afraid of the woman herself. I'm scared of her mentality. That's what I'm afraid of. Because this is the new world. Women's power in today's society is so strong, they can accuse you of something with no proof, no police report, no witnesses, no text messaging, nothing of proof, and you're guilty before you're innocent. Let a woman say right now, this guy raped me. That guy is already in jail, and they'll sort out all the details later. Let a man say that shit, this woman raped me, you go to the precinct and get laughed at. And they would interrogate the man like this doesn't seem possible. I feel like today's society of women with this whole feminism act is narcissistic. It's like they're children throwing tantrums. I feel like when a woman disrespects a man, that is an emotional tantrum. That's like a child throwing their toys on the floor, stomping around until they get their way. Shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. But let's kill feminism. Let's kill that. Women want commitment. Be something to commit to. Be something to commit to. You can't have an OnlyFans and have a husband at the same time. You can't expect respect if you don't respect yourself. You can't expect exclusivity if you're not exclusive. You can't expect a man who makes $1 million if you broke, living with your moms, with your dad, living with somebody. You can't expect these unrealistic expectations that you're not meeting up to your own standard with. Damn shame. So yeah, let's kill that for 2026. I'm sorry, I'm just venting with Boobie. I'm about to go pick up my baby from the babysitter. Let me do what I do. And yeah.